Welcome to another episode of Lifelong Learner. This is the Out of Class edition with Ben, Janesh, and Matt. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Lifelong Learner. Welcome, gentlemen. How are we doing this morning?
Mate, really good. Mate, I got to say, you're looking like slim and trim and like super healthy.
Yeah.
Very awake as well.
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know about the slim. It's been more of a focus, actually. Health has been more of a focus probably in the last 2 months, and small changes. Nothing really different. I think we talked in the last episode. The warmer weather also puts a focus on it for me. So it's like it is. You're right, mate, Matty. Early mornings, but it's easy to wake up early mornings, and it's Yeah, so I think probably if I had to pick one thing that's changed, I would say I've nearly tripled my water intake, my daily water intake, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not even like not necessarily moving a lot more, still moving and doing stuff, but that would be the one thing I would say. Yeah.
I've got to say, you're looking pretty good too, Matty. Maybe it's these glasses I've got on that made a difference, but you're looking good too, buddy. You doing something as well?
Yeah, I love that. Janesh, you look great. Matt, you look good too. Hang on a second. There must be something wrong with these glasses. I'm working out. I'm drinking lots of water. Mate, it's the time of year as well.
It is.
Yeah. Christmas this year. Yeah, nearly the end of the year.
Mate, you just had your birthday as well, so...
Just turned 36 years old. Nice. So now I'm handsome and wise.
There you go.
I've just entered the wise category.
Yeah. And Ben, mate, you're looking like you did some morning chainsawing. So, and I think all safety first. I think
thank you.
Work Safe and Work Cover and all the authority boards listening here would be very proud. And that you're taking all measures with your safety glasses.
If we know anything about Ben, it's that he likes to be very safe.
Safety first.
He does.
My family, always
no
safety
risks.
first.
No risks, no checking around.
Weigh them and then do what is safe.
Yes.
Always.
Like weather's glasses.
Adventure, bad.
Yeah.
Safety, good. That's me.
Mate, how you been, mate? It's a lot's happened.
Well, you know, I've been crook, right? I was crook last time. I've still been like 8 weeks bronchitis. Like, that's ridiculous.
So still lingering?
Just a tiny, Matty just coughs. That's right. I was coughing. I was sitting on that couch coughing last time I was up there. Mate, it's almost there. I need good weather. I need sunshine.
Yeah.
So, mate, I'm good. I had my first run in 8 weeks on Monday.
Feel good?
Had a little gym workout yesterday. Awesome. Only did shoulders. I tell you what happened. Sitting at the table, because I haven't worked out for 8 weeks. But while I was away on holiday, I was working out. Mate, I was getting fitter and fitter, running faster and faster, lifting heavier and heavier. I love being on holiday and working out. Anyway, came back, got crook. 8 weeks, A, crook. B, under the pump. Bit of stress, getting the new practice up and running. And then no working out. So we're sitting, it's a beautiful sunny weekend, stripped off, gear off all weekend, sitting having a barbecue. My daughter Eden is there and she looks at me and goes, "Dad, your shoulders have disappeared."
Oh, mate!
I can see all the bones.
Oh, mate.
She said, "What's
brutal.
with that?"
That's brutal.
Thank you, Eden. So on Tuesday, mate, I'm up. I'm in the gym.
Mate.
Oh, nothing like your 21, 22-year-old daughter telling you your shoulders.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone says that to me, I'm like, what?
So, mate, run on Monday, gym workout Tuesday, walk and talk with Rhino this morning, mate. I'm back.
Nice. You're sounding better. Yeah, you're sounding better. I think last time there was that lingering, as you cough now, but even just that raspiness in your voice. It sounds, sounds a lot better. Or it's the mic, either one.
That just speaking about that cough, we're still trying to get rid of that from our house. I'll get out of it. I get out of it. Cat gets hit again, and then sure enough, I'm doing a bit of manual labour at the moment. I come back from a couple of days of manual labour. I'm so tired. Bang! I wake up with a cough again. I'm like, it's passed back and forth. Ridiculous. I don't remember the linger.
Yeah. So there you go. Now, what's been happening in everyone's world? Can we do this little play this game? What's been great? Let's do a round of what's been great in our world, and then where's there been a learning? Where have we had a learning in this last couple of weeks? So what's great, and where's there been a learning? Starting with you, Janesh.
Yeah. So what's been great is actually since the last episode, we hosted a large event on site, Summit Survivor, in the last one, and it's great. It's busy. It's chaotic, and I just I love that stuff. And it's a big week, big day. At the same time, glad it's our last one. It was our last one. And that was great. Just everyone's on the bus, right? Everyone on our team was on the bus. So big week leading up, and then I think on Friday afternoon, there's only a few times a year that I would actually ask like this, and like probably at 12 o'clock, 12 midday, kind of the guys were there, and I said, hey, look, I'm only going to ask this, and I need you to give it your all for the next half a day, and then Saturday we're on, and they just delivered. It was just, no one was walking around, everyone was running places, everyone was getting it done. It's just a epic feeling when that happens, and when you really ask, and they could tell the ask was a real ask. It wasn't like hey guys, can you do some hard work? It's like, because they're seeing everyone in the trenches on machines, like covered in mud, and just the energy and the electricity in the air on event day. And those who've been even spectators at an event, participants at an event, but on the organising crew, it's just a fun day. It's super fun. Like a lot of stuff going good, a lot of stuff going wrong. But on the surface, everything's going great. So, and that was fun. Lots of fun. Big day. Tired. So that's been that was great. And that coupled with kind of this warmer weather and sun and the learning.
No, hang on. We'll do the round
great.
first.
Yeah, great.
Do the greats. Maddie?
The high performer there. Great. Yeah, the weather has been pretty good. And that forced us into our kayak down the river. And it's because there's been lots of rain as well. They're letting a lot of water out. And so we did this paddle that I maybe did a year ago. And it took us 3.5 hours a year ago. It took me an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow. Is that because the water? Water?
It's just so much moving water. And there's no section. Because when we're paddling on a river, when there's a lot of flat sections, I get bored. I like to be moving. The faster, the better. But there's a balance there. Cat likes calm and slow, and I like fast and wild. And it was right in the middle. So that was awesome. And there's this point where we round the corner, and the river kind of takes you where you want to go. But it divides. And I don't know if anyone knows Warrandyte. There's this tunnel that's 300 metres shortcut, or you can go around all the way around the corner, and the tunnel was open, and I got excited for about 35 seconds. I was just navigating towards the tunnel. No,
Cat's like, no.
Through the tunnel.
How high was the water? How high was the water in the tunnel?
You could just get in. So if I was by myself, I would have had a crack at it. You're just ducking to get in, and then you're up.
And so Cat was like, no.
She was like, no. But I took a student through there. I took Liv through there a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So Ryan's been there through there with you as well.
Yeah,
right?
Cat, me and Liv went through there. And so I'm like, I've taken a 16-year-old through. Come on. She's like, nah, not today. So But it was an absolute highlight. It was really nice. And we're at a place where we're going to have to sell the kayak. We're selling the car with the tow ball. So maybe last one.
Really?
Are these kayaks those ones you kind of get into and you can flip over, or are they like a sitting kayak?
No, this is like a sit-in with a skirt, proper kayak. So it's multi-purpose. It can be in the ocean. You just put a little fin in the back, or you take the fin off and you can go through rivers. So,
it's a two-person kayak.
Yeah,
cool.
twin kayak. So, yeah, that was a highlight. It was really exciting.
So,
adrenaline.
When you say selling, are you already listing or not really yet?
Oh, do you want it?
No. I'm just saying. I'm like, are you just waiting till the end of the season? It's the start of the good weather, Matt. Why sell now?
Yeah, that's why we bought the car at the beginning of November. I figured this is the time to sell it. So, yeah. So that's the highlight. Benny, what about you? What's been your highlight?
I think probably the highlight is moving back home. So we've been out of home for 4 months. That's a third of the year not living at home. Like, that's too long. It's too long.
Too long.
So, like, we were away for 10 weeks. We had 5 weeks, traveling up the middle, 5 weeks overseas. Then we came back, and then we had another month of being out of home. And like, it got to the point almost in that last few days that Michelle and I were on the verge of tears if we just didn't get home, and knowing that we're getting home, right? Like, it's like the emotion starts to build that we're finally getting home. And in fact, I said to Michelle yesterday, I was getting I was away, and I put in my sat nav how to get back home again, so it would take me the quickest way. And I said to Michelle last night, it's the first time in 4 months I've actually put my own address in the sat nav. Like, wow, 4 months out of home. And so that the real what was great was moving home on Saturday morning, and of course having the incredible weather that we've had down here in Melbourne.
Oh, mate.
Over the weekend, it was 30 degrees.
How good's that timing?
Barbie, in the pool, some sunbaking, with SPF 80, of course.
Mate, you were butt naked with no SPS. You probably had some like coconut oil on you.
Just doing these ones because his daughter's just said, "Geez, what's happened to your shoulders, mate?"
Yeah, old man.
I should just be doing this in my chair all the time. Like, just
hold those 3 kilos and just. It's called the Eagle.
So
had 1,000 of those.
Great was getting home. It was really. I was like, so great. So yeah, home.
Mate, did it feel like a new place because you've been away for so long? Like, when you like go into a new place and you're like, oh wow, it's a new place. But how did it feel when you went in?
Well,
or relax.
I went in and we met the people that were leaving that had leased it for the 4 months, who are a lovely couple, and we had a bit of a chitty chat with them. And I said to Michelle, I hope it's really quick because I just want to get in.
Release the hounds.
We had
get off the property.
We had a chitty chat. They left, and then I went into the lounge, and Michelle bought me at Christmas one of those, like a really fancy kind of modern Swedish reclining kind of electric chair thing. And so I got in the chair, hit the recline, grabbed the TV remote, and put my TV on. It's like, I'm here.
The captain.
Nice.
Yeah. So sat there and just watched that, for 3 or 4 minutes. And went, yeah, I'm home, and then back into the rest of the house. But like as I'm walking up the driveway, Michelle said, "Do not look at all the things that need to be fixed up. Do not look at the garden. Let's focus. We're home."
Yeah.
Because I'm walking up, and of course, no one looks after the garden.
Good call, Michelle.
Yeah. Like, I look after the garden. And so it had gone, nature had started to...
Didn't you get a gardener?
Yeah, we did have a gardener, and we had a gardener ring about 6 weeks into it. He was coming every 2 weeks. And lovely dude, he just rang and said, it's all too hard.
It's all too hard? What do you mean it's all too hard?
This gardening business thing is all too hard. Employees... not turning up. I'm super stressed. It's doing my head in. I'm going to have to let some jobs go.
Oh my God.
He's letting your job go.
Letting my job.
I thought he's calling you for some coaching or something. What do you mean? You're the
Spoke
AAA
to
class.
Michelle while we were away, and so
You didn't
so we
call
had
him
a
back and give him a bit of one-on-one pep and coaching and offer him a bit more coin and go drop the other jobs and keep ours?
No one dumps Ben. No, that's not the way this works.
No, I know. So you know what? I actually didn't. Yeah, there's a good idea though. Bit late now, and so it's kind of been let go.
Been gone.
Bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, apart from
That's all right.
great. That's my great.
Mate, just on that, I'm still trying to get the house back to normal. The garden, at one point, I was mowing the lawn every week because you get so much rain and then sun, bang, full time. I need a son. Where's your son? Maybe he can come around.
He's back for 3 days on Monday.
Really? And then where to?
He's off to Bali for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Mate, put him to work for 3 days. Tell him to get the garden. Get him some coin.
He probably needs some cash, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, I said, Michelle said to him yesterday, you'll be listening, Logan. He loves this. He can't wait for the episode. Michelle said to him yesterday, what are you doing for work when you get back?
He's only back for 3 days.
I'll just work at the summit. And Michelle said, have you let him know that you're planning to come back? He goes, oh no, I've always got a job there. I said, Michelle said, well, you might just want to just reach out and let them know that you're going to be wanting some work in the new year if they still want you. And he goes, oh, okay. Listening, Logan?
Yes, you should, Logan. Let the team know that you'll be there for staff training.
He knows his value, though. You got to appreciate that.
Yeah. So he's keen. He's looking forward to being back at the summit.
Nice.
Mate, I'm keen to hear some of his stories. Have you seen the blanket of countries that young man's been on?
Yeah, 17 countries plus Bali.
So good.
Legend.
So good.
Mate, improve for you, Janesh. What's the improve? Where's been the learning?
Oh, mate, the learning has been last time we did. Actually, it's on the back of. It's coupled from the back of Survivor and some of this good weather. The last Survivor was in 19, and I didn't know it so we were on Survivor in November, and I didn't realise it till probably January of the following year. Oh, mate, it nearly broke me. Absolutely broke me. I think that and then a busy December, busy January. So the learning was, be kind to myself, and play. Like, I think this weather is just play now, which is really cool. Like each night, last couple of weeks we've been going, let's go for a quick bike ride, and like that, just play at every opportunity. And it's a busy time of year, but there's a lot of social functions, which I love. And it's like, be bothered and play. So like connect and play. And yes, it's busy. Yes, everyone's hustling till the end of the year. And the learning is enjoy it. You don't need a grind. Don't need a grind. Like, we work hard to enjoy, and it's play and be kind. Which has been good. It's relaxing. It's relaxing. You're still getting like a lot done, and it's relaxing, and it's just more fun. It's the time of year of just catching up with people, doing stuff, and it's for me, it's this month and January is like months of yes. Right? Someone says, "Hey, let's catch up." Yes, let's do it. Do you want to go out and hang out by the beach? Yeah, the weather's good, because again, we've had some pretty crappy weather for the last 6 months, and it's like, let's do yes. Let's do yes.
How do you do that though? Is it because things are quieter at the summit this time of year? Schools are finishing up. Have you got the space to do that?
No.
Or are you consciously making? So how do you do that? Like, you got all those emails. I've got to get that back to. And someone says, "Hey, do you want to come and have a quick
mate?" Consciously making time, consciously prioritizing. We're balls to the wall. we're balls to the wall this week, next week. Last week we were, so we had a corporate.
What does that actually mean?
I was about to say, for our listeners from overseas, balls against the wall is generally not a good thing. That means a lot of pressure. Balls against the wall, pressure.
What,
Yeah.
we're talking balls as in testicle balls?
No, it's a phrase. It's a phrase. It's busy. But it's
What does balls to the wall mean?
That's when you're. I envision him being pressed against the wall by a guy from a prison or something, and he's pushed up against the wall, and there's a lot of pressure.
I nearly spat my coffee.
Yeah,
And it's
the
not-
balls. Yeah.
The balls are against the walls. In this, if any more pressure, and they're going to burst. You know.
Because I said to someone, one of my team the other day, I said, "It looks like you're burning the candle at both ends." She went,
How old was your team member?
20, Dr. Beck.
Yeah,
25, I think, Dr. Beck.
I don't think 20-year-olds get the candle.
So I had to
on both
draw
ends.
her a picture. Like, imagine a candle, and like there's a flame at one end.
When you said candle, she went, "Oh, do you mean LED? What's a candle?"
So it's burning down, right? And so if there was a wick at the other end, we lit that, the candle would burn twice as quick, right? So
But
there's
also-
a picture.
Yeah, but
Burning
also
candle both ends,
when you
balls against the wall, paint me the picture. What does it look like?
I feel like I painted you the picture, but over to Janesh.
no, it is busy. There's a lot. It's not like it's cruisy. It's not like it's a long.
No, the picture, Janesh.
He's avoiding. He's
I
avoiding it.
know.
Where does that come from?
I don't
Up
know.
To up to my gills in, it's like your picture. Like you got
Yeah,
gills,
it's like
there's
your
things coming up.
back's against the wall. Your back's against the wall, but also
But you said balls
I
against
know.
the wall.
Yes. I know, but it's also it's like your balls against the wall, right? So back against the wall, your back and your balls, same. Anyway,
Your balls are in a funny place, mate. That's all.
hey, I've just got some big balls, mate. I just got some big balls. Yes. Okay. Moving along. But yeah, no, it's consciously making the time, and I think prioritizing. So, like,
Prioritizing your balls against the wall.
no, prioritizing in terms of connection and prioritizing play, and I think pausing to go, what is really important? You got all these things to do, and what is really important on a weekly or daily basis, right? And you go, what is it? Good, awesome, and then make the space, and you find a way. You find a way if you go, this is important. So this week, next week, busy, but there's a lot of social things on. We had a full day corporate on Monday, but then all meetings on Tuesday, dinner tonight in the city, and then another Christmas party on Friday, and then Christmas party on Saturday, and Zaid's birthday party on Sunday. And it's a busy time, but it doesn't feel busy. You know, when you go, it's busy, you're like, oh, I just got to move from thing to thing. This is just like, it's like celebrating. It's like a time of celebration, and I think it changes. I know it changes. There's a lightness to it. So yeah.
It's a good question that you were saying. Asking yourself what's important. It's a good question to ask,
especially this time of year when I think days are longer, and it's like what is important, and then at the same time honoring that, right? So I think a lot of people don't necessarily honor. They go, oh yeah, it is important to connect or catch up, but they don't honor it.
No, and I'm all over that now. This has been well done. Thanks, guys. I gotta go. I got some fun to have. No, like seriously, I'm excited by what you've just said, because I've got a big 2 weeks ahead. It's just a lot on, lot of stuff going on, and I'm feeling a bit serious. No, I'm putting a message out to the team. Party time.
Really is, right? Like it's
Party time. Let's see how we can get stuff done and do party time.
Yeah, and I think you're right that it's asking yourself why am I doing it, and what's most important. And whenever you ask, or for me, whenever I ask myself that question, I remember it's about the people. You know, it's not the thing. Like you look at your calendar, I imagine we're all in the same boat. It's rammed, and it's all one thing after another. You can really quite quickly forget that each one of these things is a person, not just a thing I have to do. Yeah. when you remember it's about people, and I think that's helpful. Like there's a lot. I'm in the same boat. The Christmas party down at the summit, the hangouts here. I've got 2 friends that I met traveling, and they both called me, and one said, "Oh, I'm coming to Melbourne. Is it a good time?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a great time." So he's coming tonight, and we've been in our house 3 months, and I've just kind of been working on each room, each car, and we've got the one room in the house that's just got all the shit. You just dump stuff in there, mattresses, weights, all the things that don't fit in the house. Yeah, that like Kat will be like, "No, that's not going in there," and I'll just be like, "Well, fine, just dump it in the spare room." And so Diego's coming, mate. If you're listening, we're ready.
Where's he staying?
He listens. Don't you worry. He's
staying in our spare room, which is currently full to the roof with his stuff. So at some point today, we'll clear that out and have it ready for him. But yeah, remembering that it's not about the room. It's about my friend that I met in Perth. Who's coming. I'm going to give him a great experience of Melbourne. And to do that, I need to spend 3 hours cleaning out that room.
Mate, what's been your learning, Matty?
Me?
Yeah.
So
Mate, by the way, what is in that bottle? It looks like you just grabbed a bottle of vodka. I don't judge.
Too early, is it? It's water, Janesh. I'm also a bottle a day keeps the doctor away. Is that how that works?
A bottle of what?
Yeah. What have I been learning? I've been diving into manual labour on Mondays and Tuesdays for the last month, and what I'm learning is, fuck, that's hard. It's hard work.
At 36, mate.
Oh, mate, those joints must be creaky.
No, what I've realised is that I can't sustain 4 days of the gym and 2 days of 9.5-hour days of manual labour. Like, I've just got a massive appreciation for, builders and plumbers and the people who are, down there in the dirt going for it. And the guys I'm working with, Carlos and Craig and Will, they just go to town. It's ridiculous. They work really, really hard. So I'm really appreciating, what I do as well, like a lot less physical stuff, which allows me all this energy for the things that I want to use my body for. Like I'll coach for a day, and then I'm skating and I'm going to the gym, and I'm not as tired as I was last night when I got home. I'm learning that you only have so much energy, and I'm really lucky that I get to put a lot of that physical energy into things that I really enjoy, and not just the work, which is, really cool. And I've learned so many skills, just, basic stuff that's going to be super useful when I start building. A lot of sanding. I'm realizing that a lot of this work is the same action, different material. Cleaning, sanding, like
Mr. Miyagi, mate. Wax on,
painting,
wax off,
painting.
Like my shoulders.
That's what I need to do.
Just paint.
Ending.
Mate, so I ended up cleaning the roof of this church, right? And the roof is like maybe 8, or maybe it's 10 by 5. It's a big roof. And it was black, like as black as night. And I had to scrub all this soot because they'd had a fire in the middle of this church, and the soot had just covered the whole church, like years of a fire. And I was literally scrub, and then dip a bit of foam in water, in the bucket, scrub. I got up and down the bucket, changing the bucket. I did it maybe 1,500 times until eventually the roof was like this horrible cream color, and then start again. And so I'm just learning mental resilience, mental toughness. It's not physical. Oh, it's pretty taxing, like constantly doing this and looking up, but it was mental as well, because your brain's like, I'm never going to finish. It's never going to end. And it's just, it was really, really useful. And how I clean that church is how I'm going to build this surf place as well. Just one
One scrub
life
at a
at a
time.
time, one scrub at a time. So really, really cool. Great being around really, enthusiastic go-getters. No one complains. Everyone just needs something done. Bang, already on the broom. Yeah, really cool to be in an environment like that and work really physically hard. It makes me grateful for what I get to do. So that's what I've learned. Lots of skills and a new appreciation for working remotely. Great.
Nice.
How about you, Ben?
Benny?
That's a good one, Matty. And I was thinking about what my learning was, and I think it's kind of a bit of a similar story. I was up in Brisbane a couple of weeks ago at a retreat, a business retreat. I was doing a bit of coaching, helping out, and a bit of participating, and the room was full of entrepreneurs, business owners, not C-suite execs, more people that own the business, work in the business, work on the business, have got their balls to the wall. They're in it. There's stake in it, and just their passion and their enthusiasm for their business, and having big conversations. Big conversations about money, big conversations around team, about growing business, about life, just, better conversations sometimes than what can happen just in the day-to-day. And so my learning was that often when you're, what's the word? And I use this word loosely, at the top, like I'm at the top in my business because I'm bringing leadership to the team, that it not only can it be lonely, but sometimes the conversations only come from you down as far as inspirational conversations, motivating, inspiring, bringing hope, all that kind of stuff, that it's so important that you're hanging around with people that lift you up as well, and finding that mix of people where you're having some bigger conversations, and conversations maybe you can't have with your team, around the challenges and the learnings and the bits and pieces that go on. And I came back really just refreshed from those couple of days of having just bigger conversations. And so for me, the learning has been I need to find more of those conversations in my world on a regular basis. And it really is environment, as you said, and culture that really does dictate performance. And as you found, working with those guys that have got such a great work culture, it had you do 1,500 times of wiping down the ceiling, whereas it could have been a different culture. And I think the people that work and come and work at the summit, and that work with you, Maddie, and they'll work with you in, I was going to say hideaway, but it's not hideaway. It's not getaway either. It's shipwrecked. The come work with you in shipwrecked will be so lucky. And I think about some of the kids that get out and particularly maybe end up in corporate or in trades. And, I know trades have had been given a bit of a hard time around, apprentices and the way they get treated. And they get treated that way because the boss got treated that way when he was apprentice. And it just keeps getting passed down the chain. And I just wonder in our workplaces how we could create better workplaces where we change. There's a whole generation that come through that go, hey, this is the way we do business. This is the way we build team with that new culture. So so that was kind of my learning. I need to make sure that I'm actively pursuing hanging out with cool people.
Just on that, I had that realization as well that when you're in a team or you're at the top of the team, the leader of the team, sometimes you don't feel like you have a team around you on the same level. Do you know what I mean? Because you're in a position where you need to be delegating. Stuff happens. Often you're holding that. You don't want the team to even have to worry about that. They've got to focus on their own things. So I was, aware that I miss being part of a team as well. Like sometimes when you work for yourself, I miss the team, just being around other people and being able to bring I guess similar to Janesh, a lot of the time when I'm around a group of people working on a common goal, I lighten the mood. I make it playful. And I do that for me because it makes the work easier. But I do it also, it comes out the most when I'm around others. When I'm by myself, sometimes I forget that. I forget to be playful, or I forget to be a bit silly because I'm the only one in the room with a headset on, and you forget. So it's so nice to be around. Yeah, just in a team environment, I think is the other thing. And when you were speaking, it resonated as well that, yeah, definitely a team player. So how can I find team when I'm working remotely? Or maybe it is a phone call to someone like, Benny, a little quick 30-second or couple of minute catch up, or downloading something, or I don't know. But there's an awareness that that's a really cool thing. Being surrounded by people, having a team, really cool.
Mm. How do you find that, Janesh? Do you find that it's often, top down? And I think that's our role as a leader is to be the buffer. When there is some crashing waves and when there is some stuff going on, that we absorb that and that doesn't get passed down through to the team. Yeah. Instead, what we pass down is the hope, and we pass down the opportunity, and we pass down the learning, and we pass that down through the team. But we absorb the other end of it. The flip side of the coin gets absorbed by us as the leader, and I think at some level it does come with a toll. There is an energy required.
Oh, huge. Massive. And I think I actively source out community because I can't, as you said, I can't get that level of conversation with everyone on our team. A couple of our other senior guys, yes, I can. But still, yeah. But I actively source that out. Otherwise, I would go insane. That fills my cup. Right? It's like, yeah. So that's one part of a couple other communities, business communities that I've learned a lot from. And also it's kind of full circle, like some new people coming through that now it's a chance that I can give back, right? So they're like, hey, how do you do this? Or what do you do with this? And I'm like, give me a call anytime you need, because I know where you're at. And that's super important to me to be able to bounce off, and even without an agenda, just to shit talk, just about what's going on with the business team, but as you said, about life, right? It's that time of year, and it is important. I don't know, I could be at my best if I didn't resource that intentionally. So, because you can't get those conversations, and I think those conversations are important, and I think they're for me they're enriching, right? You get excited, you bring that fire, and everyone in an organization, if you are the leader of the organization, people look to you for that hope, for that fire, and it's like, all right, and you got to go, where are you getting it from? Like, you can't just keep creating it out of nowhere. You can for a little bit, but it's like, all right, I got to spin magic out of nothing right now. And it's like, it can be taxing. It's taxing, it's tolling, and you got to get that from somewhere else.
Like I find that you generate it, right? I believe you build it, right? By having a clear vision, clear goals, clear values, but I think you're right. You need something that also brings depth to it, otherwise it's just personal work. And I find it challenging holding this vision where it's constantly being challenged by external environment, by people, by relationships. It's constantly in conflict. So it's really useful and meaningful to be around someone else who's, Carlos is building his dream. And I got to a place where I was really struggling to hold this vision as just things are happening in the world. And there was this knowing, I read it somewhere, the fastest way to to build your dream is to help someone else with theirs. And so I was in this place of just a little bit of lost, and as you know, you're describing, Janesh, not having, just trying to do it myself, and just going and working with Carlos and having clear, do this. I can just focus my attention on this one thing, and I know that's contributing to this bigger, my friend's vision. But just being around him, the little conversations, I spent maybe 8 hours in one room by myself, but at lunchtime there's a little bit of a conversation, there's a little bit of banter, and it's restored hope, inspiration. And it's really helpful seeing someone else's vision every week. It grows a little bit. There's another room done. And that's fueling my own belief. I'm like, if Carlos can do it, he's got good people helping him, I can find some good people to help me. I definitely agree that you need to source that. And it can look different. For me, it's just working with the guys, and it's putting some money in my pocket, but it's also fueling my own belief. What do you think, Ben? Where do you get it from? Because you've got now multiple practices you're holding the vision for,
and more people now looking to you too, right? For that guidance, inspiration.
I think that was the learning from a couple of weeks ago is, there's that space really has, I haven't had that position filled. Someone, I've got Michelle, of course, but we're also conscious of our relationship becoming one where we're business partners, and we are, and and that's okay. But also, I think that I need, as ultimately the leader that's at the top of the organisation, needs a business partner, needs someone to talk business with, needs someone to have some of those bigger conversations with, and I had that in radiology. I had a great mate, Russ Christensen. If you're listening to the podcast, in fact, I'll send you this episode, mate, because you may not be aware that I do a podcast. He was my business partner in GIG radiology, and he was the silent partner, but he was a guy that I'd catch up with every day or so. We'd have a quick phone call, and we'd just have a chat about some of the challenges and whatever was going on. He'd offer some advice, some feedback, some inspiration, you can do it, you've got this conversation, and I would be charged and good to go and get into the day and deal with what needed to be dealt with. So I think I'm kind of missing that. And I think that's the role that I do as a coach. It's a role you do, Maddie, as the work you do in coaching, and you do, Janesh, is that we become that support person. But who's that support person for us? And maybe it's a paid gig, and I have a coach who I pay, but it's the little day-to-day chats that sometimes you want. It's not a coaching it's not a whole coaching session. It's just like, hey, mate, what do you reckon about this? And so doing better at looking for that as I move into 2023, I think.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of almost the purpose of this podcast, was just finding that reminder that who's your person in 2023 that you can have. And maybe there's multiple people, but definitely in my areas of life, that vision, the business side of things, having a mentor or someone, just a cheerleader that isn't, your partner, that you can chat about, that understands the journey you're on, the doubt, sometimes when you share doubts that you have and people expect you to be always optimistic, that can have a really negative effect. People are like, oh my God, you're doubting yourself? And I'm like, yeah, we all doubt ourselves, surely. Yeah. But people, it can really, it can throw in particularly with, a partner when it comes to some of the big vision stuff. If I show doubt, then I can see that can have a really negative effect on her, because obviously I'm the one that holds the vision.
No, that is so true, isn't it? It is so true. And it's so true, with our team as well, that, if you go, you say, look, bit worried about the numbers. So, what do you mean? Like, it's, things going bad. It's like, no. It's like, no, it's just, you feel like you've got to justify that slight, ever so slight comment.
Yeah.
Quickly it grows, doesn't it? Like they go, and this thing just becomes massive. It's like it's not massive, and we've got it. But I also need, like when you identify the worst possible thing that can happen and the best possible thing that can happen, you realize that both are possible, and it's just about hard work and focus, and I can make it happen. But sometimes I draw strength from going, well, what's the worst that can happen? And that kind of puts my doubt to bed. But yeah, if you don't frame it well, or you share that with someone who needs a lot of certainty, that can then create a huge amount of more doubt for me. It goes between you, and you end up in this game of doubt. So
it's a balance of being like, you want to be transparent, but it's also I'm not sure it's valuable for me to share this with you right now. Not that I don't think you need to know it, but I'm not sure. And it's a balance, right? It's a balance of transparency and going, I'm not sure, because you could make a mountain out of a molehill, and it's a different level of conversation, right?
It's authenticity, isn't it? When you say transparency, you mean it's like we have this burning desire to be congruent and authentic. And when we value someone, we want to share. But as you said, you sometimes have this thought, is it helpful to share this with you, or are you going to make this more painful for me? Because I just want to vent. I just want to say this sucks and I'm worried about the future. And then go back into, we got it. I'm sure we can do this.
And that's the difference between, I think, telling someone who may care versus someone who doesn't care, that cares so much that they don't care. It's the friend that cares so much that they don't care. They'll be honest, and they don't take on board your stuff. They care so much about you getting your outcome, which is what coaches will do. They care so much about you getting your outcome that they just don't care. They don't take it on board. They don't have a charge about it. And they'll say, okay, let's work this through together, and let's find out, what is the truth, and what would be the resolution, and how do we move forward. And
I think that's the point, is that when you say care, it's like they're not emotionally invested in the outcome. They're not tied to the story. They're an observer
attached
of your story. And they're like, hey, they can see clearly where it's heading, because there's not emotion tainting the water. I think that's so true.
And they need they're like the reminder of, hey, you've got it. Yeah, you've had this event. All right, come on, saddle up. What are you going to do about it now, right? You spilt the milk now. What are you going to do about it? And that's that. You need those people.
They know your character, right?
Yeah, and then you need those people to remind you. And you're like, oh, yeah, good, I got it. And you just feel better for it. You've had that vent, you've kind of get it out. And if the people aren't capable of giving you that reminder, or go, yep, I know this is going to be a solution for this, they go, oh, there is no solution. What do you mean? Am I getting paid this week? Is there work next year? What do you mean? What, like, all of those things come into their headspace, right? And when it's not really a possibility, it's like, as you said, Ben, it's a passing comment that you go, oh shit, why'd I say that?
But it is in your head, and you do.
You want to honour it.
You're constantly buffering the flip side of what could happen. You're buffering that and only giving the bright side, the positive side, the optimistic side. But there's always the other side, right? And you bear that as the leader.
But is there a way of giving it to them so they have a bit of appreciation?
Yeah, so there's that too, isn't it? It's like, hey guys, just so you know, it's not all rosy.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yeah.
There's all sunshine and rainbows here.
Yeah. And so why do we do that? Is it we want them to appreciate our position? We want them to
validation of the struggle, maybe, of the.
I've done it a couple of times when there's been an ask for a couple of things, or there's been, hey, why don't we have this, or why can't we do this? And I'm like, yes, we can. And can you give me a solution for A, B, C, D, E, and F under this budget at the moment? I am all ears. Help me here. And then they go, oh, no, I'm going to throw my hands in the air. No, don't worry about it. Or
if you'd said A, B, and C, Yeah, but the fact that you went through the whole alphabet, they're
Yeah.
like, no, that's too much work.
And I was like, yeah, sure. Or if they're going, oh, hey, why isn't this done yet? Right? And I'm like, I totally appreciate that. But I've gone, can you look at this big list? And can you tell me that this is important, more important than all this rest? Then 100% I will. And you communicate that, or you tell me how you would like me to communicate that to everyone. And we'll do that tomorrow. And then they're like, oh, nah. Or when they see something and they go, oh, you finish early a lot. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, oh, great. So when you finished yesterday at 4 o'clock, I was probably in the office till 8 or 9, but you don't see that and you don't see the early mornings. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm going to shut up now. I only do it when they
You do finish early, though. You do.
I do. I do finish early. But it's mate, how do you know, mate? That was our secret.
Because Ben finishes early too.
I know.
That's the thing. That was the other thing. I'm driving in my car and I'm feeling a little bit serious. What was it, Monday, I think? I was feeling a bit serious. I was driving in my car and I thought, fuck this. I'm taking Fridays off. How have I got to be working 5 days again? No.
Because you used to take Fridays off or Thursdays?
For the first 15 years of my working career, I only worked 3 days a week.
Yes.
And then somehow it became 4.
I love hearing stories like that.
Now I'm working 5.
Shouldn't it be the other way around? Starting 5 and getting
The other way
less?
around.
Yeah.
Ben's a black sheep. Whatever the other sheep are doing, I'm fucking doing it differently. I'm going to work.
I'm gonna work more.
3 days a week while I'm building my career. And then when it's pumping, then I'm going to start working 8 days a week.
Yeah. No more. Anyway, this Friday is reflection day. So I thought, I'm conscious of the time, and it's a perfect segue to Fridays.
Where are you going?
So I'm going to go to Cozzy.
Oh, same place?
I do love Cozzy.
Same place?
Yeah, back to Cozzy. Sorry, Cozzy, but you weren't my first pick. This time I actually wanted to go to Donovan's. Just no availability. Like booked out almost through till Christmas.
Wow.
Then it was Entrecôte with that cool French place in Greville Street, Prahran. Booked out.
For a table for one.
Table for one.
Booked out. Fuck.
And I was keen to get back to Donovan's because both of these, certainly Donovan's has a real history for me with Michelle in the earlier days. And anyway, so back to Cozzy, which will be awesome. And so reflection day. So I'll spend a couple of hours, 2.5, maybe 3 hours there at Cozzy. It's going to be a cheap table too because I don't drink. And of course, all their tables are tables for 2, and I'm a table for 1.
No drink.
I'm going to feel like I'm going to take some oysters. I'm going to have to order the lobster.
He's going to be there for 2 hours. Like, fuck, can this guy leave already?
He's been here for 2 hours and he's spent $50 on a main. Anyway, and I'll get my Facebook out and I'll get my photos out and I'll take my, all my little notebooks that I've got that have taken notes throughout the years. I'll go through my Google Calendar and literally just scour every meeting I've had, every phone call, picture that I've taken, and just kind of reflect on, it's amazing just how much we actually put into our year. How many little bits, little meetings, little phone calls, little events that then lead to maybe a big event like, Summit Survivor, right? You remember the Summit Survivor day, but do you remember all the little phone calls and the challenges and bits and pieces that went on the lead up to that? So I'll do all that reflection and then just take stock of, where am I today on whatever the date will be? I can't remember, but this Friday, where am I now? And then that sets the scene for, so what for 2023? What was great in 2022, and where is there maybe some improves? Where could there be some upgrades? What would I do differently? And whilst my world, I've already planned for 2023. We have this trimester already planned out, so it's not so much a goal setting for the new year, but just a reflection on probably behaviour. How would I behave? Who would I be differently? Things like, who do I need to surround myself with into 2023? Those kind of things that'll come from the reflection. So that's for me on Friday. You guys got a reflection? You try and get one in before New Year's? And the reason I do that is, New Year's comes around so quickly. you wake up and you go, oh my God, it's the first of the year. I should do some thinking about last year and this year and what I want to do. And then all of a sudden I got a Barbie on tonight and, there's this and that and then family. And before you know it, it's February and you still haven't reflected on 2022. So I do it before, sometime in December. What about you guys?
Maddie?
Cool. I just wrote down. I just took your idea. I'm like, yes, I'm using this as a catalyst right now because I haven't organized it this year. Normally, it's in my calendar and it's a day that just I see it creeping up, and then it's just it happens. And I like to do my reflection generally end of the year. Normally, end of school term is usually the time I'll do a reflection, and then I try and get my goal setting in before the end of the year as well, because I know come January it's quite easy for me to not have time, and then I get to like February, March, and I'm like, I haven't set any goals for the year. So yes, I'm going to do mine on the last day of term, which is the 16th, and same as you, just reflecting on the whole year. And is it in line? Am I moving in the direction I want? Like I tend to say yes to a lot of things, and sometimes I say yes to things that actually cannot be in line with the bigger picture. So often just taking stock and seeing can be really useful. And then my intention is to set some goals before the beginning of the year. So maybe the 30th, Friday the 30th, I might sit down and spend a couple of hours writing out some simple goals, which I'll add to in January, February, March. How about you, Janesh?
Can I say, I think it's if you're going to do it, Maddie, my feedback is do it by yourself. Put yourself in an inspirational environment, a place that has some emotion to it, a place where you can have a laugh and you can have a cry to yourself as well. Because I think if you reflect on 2022 and if there's not moments when you laugh and when you cry, then what the fuck were you doing for 2022, And so to be able to go back and just look at the memories throughout the year, and be in a place where you can do that, but leave inspired, and so find a special place.
Finish with the positive. How many hours are you doing, just for the listeners? Are you doing an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, just to give them a ballpark?
It's probably 2 to 3 hours it takes me to kind of go through and do the reflection, and I literally just sit there with my phone and look at all the photos one by one, and then go through all my Facebook, because I use Facebook as a diary. I don't have a public. My Facebook posts aren't public; they're private to just me and my inner circle of family. And so I'll scan through all the Facebook, and it's not because it's not just the picture; it's the comment that I made with the picture that I'll read as well. And I go, yeah, that's right. That's how I was feeling at the time, and kind of those memories. And then things like this book, there's a couple of these floating around. They've got little to-do lists and things I must do. And I'll flick back and like if I flick back here, it's like here, rental of the rooms. Rental. It's like, yeah, that's right. I remember back then. I was trying to get the rooms rented, and now we've got them all rented. Like, yeah, like that, those kind of reflections that sometimes we just skip over.
I think that's a really cool point as well. And then we have to hear from Janesh before we finish up. But using the tools around you, like Instagram. I don't use Facebook, but Instagram, I've made during our trip 30 posts. And when I watch my video back, it brings up all these emotions and I remember, so sometimes just the journal, the clinical reflection, it doesn't have the same effect. So that's what Ben's saying, use both. Use the book with all the meetings and the times and the little quotes and the funny lists of shit that you had to get done that you didn't think you would, and use Instagram or Facebook so you get those emotional reminders. I think that's so cool. And you were saying 2 to 3 hours. So that's meaningful for someone who might be thinking about trying this whole reflection thing.
Yeah.
Janesh?
I would say traditionally I actually do it in the new year, and I take the month of Jan to do it. I do it both, but this year it's been non-intentional, like unintentional reflection, usually the week of Christmas, the lead up. Probably from the 20th to the 24th, there'll be some time there. I think this year I want to make it intentional. So I do like the idea of kind of like capstoning the year, right? Which is nice because then come January, you've got this new energy and it's like you're reflecting, but you also, a lot of the energies thinking moving forward, right? The current energy. So I think this year I'll still do it that week of. I think sometimes if I do it too early, for me personally, I can't get into that space. So I think, that week of Christmas, that 20th onwards, where things are a little bit slower here and there and there's a little bit more space. So one line takeaway from the conversation, gentlemen.
I think for me, there seemed to be a bit of a theme to it, and that is, just surround yourself with good people. Make sure you've got good people around you that lift you, that inspire you, people that'll be mentors, not just friendtors, and people that are an example for how you want to live. And maybe not how you want to live your whole life, but how you want to live in business, or how you want to live around health, or how you want to live around relationships. Because, there's probably few people that have got the full package, but there's components of what they're doing that you might go, you know what, I want to grab a bit of that. That'd be my thing. Have good people around you.
Nice. Maddie?
I was going to say Janesh. I think just what Ben was saying about the reflection. I mean, there's been quite a few things I think in this podcast that will be meaningful or useful to people, but the reflection hit me. Just a great reminder. Use the Instagram, use the Facebook. We're emotive creatures, and for a lot of us, we're all visual. It's a really big component, and it has a massive effect. And so, why'd you do all those videos? Did you do it for other people? Or did you do it for yourself? And maybe this year, making an Instagram or a Facebook post for you, like Ben was saying, as your tool to reflect on at the end of the year. What a way more powerful way to create content when it's for you as a journal that you're going to reflect on. And you might share it with the external world, but that's not the motivator. It's not look at me, look at how I'm living my life. It's this is for me. And so that really hit me. And I'm excited to reflect just thinking about looking at those videos and looking through that content, as opposed to, I got to do my reflection, which is, my book going through. So straight away, I'm excited for the 16th to spend a couple of hours, as Ben said, somewhere, cool, coffee, food, and just take myself on a date and reflect. What a fucking huge year. And for me, I did a lot of things I wanted to do. And now I'm moving on to the next thing, and I'm selling the van, and it's something that's really important to reflect and appreciate and see how far we have come. Still have great big vision, but appreciate how far we've come, not be thinking about how far I got to go. I think that's really powerful. So,
mate, you have great pics. I remember the pics you shared, pictures of the van getting put together and putting the drawers in, and just remembering the van when it was raw, and, how you changed it, and, wow.
And that's our first team thing. Like, it was a big, big vision for Kat and I. It's small in the scheme of things, but it was our first big vision. I was cleaning it the other day, and it was bringing back I was proud. I was like, fuck yeah, we did this. And if we can do this, what's a surf camp? It's just 40 million times bigger. Janesh?
Yeah, wow. I would say to bring lightness and play to this time of year and enjoy. I think a lot of people sometimes go, I just can't wait for that Christmas break. And that they're waiting for that relief once they close up or close the office. And I'm like, why can't you feel that relief now? Like, why? Like, yes, there's a lot on, but find a way to enjoy it. Because I'm enjoying it, and it's fun. It is fun. It's light. It's playful, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. As always, gentlemen, great conversation. And
Recording stopped.
oh fuck.
No, you killed our sign off.
I know, no, but hold on, the other one still. So for the listeners, still now, I've stopped the Zoom recording, but I still have the mic recording.
You still have the audio.
Yeah.
Good.
So till next time, and there will be one more episode before Christmas.
Yes.
There will be. So thanks again, gentlemen.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
mate. It's good to see you, boys.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Lifelong Learner. If you like this episode and want to know more and hear other episodes, head over to lifelonglearnerpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll be the first to know when new podcast episodes come out. And if you want to say hello, tell us a joke, or ask us a question, send us an email at hello@lifelonglearnerpodcast.com. Thanks again.